Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the iRacing AI JKR Mazda Cup, I don't know what to call this, series championship. So, if you haven't watched the first 7 videos? Are we on video 8 already, or 9 for this series? The previous races of this Mazda Cup, make sure you go back and do that. They will be immediately preceding this video, obviously, on this channel. And if you enjoy this video, anything else that you see on here, make sure you like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. If you want to be caught up on kind of what we're doing here today, go back and watch the Formula V season. Go back and watch the Spec Racer Ford season that came before this. You'll kind of be caught up in the loop of how this goes. And if you want to watch all the Mazda Cup races, you'll kind of be up, set the stage for where we are today. So, as always, I apologize if I'm having any microphone issues. Those of you that know me for a long time, followed me for a long time, know that there's unfortunately not a lot I can do about it right now, so I hope it's not too big of an issue. So, today we are at Watkins Glen, probably the track I am most scared of on this calendar, just because it's going to be absolutely bonkers. There's essentially like no corners in this car, especially. There's like one real brake zone, so see how that goes. I guess 2 really brake zones. The carousel doesn't really count. You kind of just float up there and call it good. Anyways, so this is the classic version, the NASCAR version of the track without the bus stop. So no boot, no bus stop today. So it's going to be a little bit crazy. Honestly, it's going to be lap times down around, I don't know, a minute and 15 seconds or so, and it's going to be absolutely bonkers. PCC ran here a year ago, actually, 2020, season 4. When I was chasing my Pontiac championship, and this was actually one of my biggest, I think it was actually my biggest SOF, biggest point haul win ever. I won my idea of 60-minute PCC races with pit stops. This was the one that season. I think it went on for 2 or 3 seasons. This was the one that was 60 minutes, and it was nuts. It was a draft fest, lots of traffic. Obviously, a pit stop, 2 pit stops, actually 60 minutes. My bad, 2 pit stops. And it was just a massive Pontiac field, and I played the strategy just right and won that race. It was a big SOF. Cam Eben was in there. Known him for a long time. He lives pretty close to me, so always knew him as Cliff because of his iRacing. His dad's Cliff. Anyways, I digress. So I got my highest points ever. I believe it was 167 points for that win. So that's pretty wild. But anyways, we're going to jump right into qualifying here. Already on our flying lap. Missed turn 1 very badly. Single lap qualifying, 20-minute race standard procedure if you've seen any of these videos before, so should be exciting. Probably gonna be a little bit nuts, maybe not Daytona levels of nuts, but I don't know that. We'll see how big the draft plays a part here. This is basically drafting all the way around, so see how that plays out here, and hopefully we can have a good day. We do have quite a big points margin. I think 27 points or something like that is our points lead right now, so essentially, if we just have a nice clean race finish and even at 10 or 15, we'll be okay heading to the finale next time out at Laguna Seca. So I'm looking forward to here. We're going to try to leave it in 4th gear. Fast corner, lots of banking. I'm probably going to carry more speed through there actually with cold tires. And not really matter where you qualify with how big the draft I anticipate it's going to be. So we'll just kind of roll with this lap right here. Leave it in 4th here down to the turn 6 as I call it. Everybody has a different name for what number corner this actually is. Actually not very many shifts here. I figured there'd be more, but gearing is just in the range of not needing a whole bunch of shifts as we push wide there again. It's probably my least favorite corner on the track. That last corner, easy to miss everything there. Push out and even sometimes hit that wall. So finishing our qualifying lap there, 125. So I was nowhere near my prediction of speed. So we're going to ignore that I even made a prediction for how fast the laps would be. It said 115 to 120. We're nowhere near that. We won't be for the race. But it looks like we may end up on pole. We ran a nice lap right there. Nate's down in 8th, actually, but Dale Jr. 2nd place, a full 3/10 back. So that's encouraging. All right. Here we go. Just going to check this. All right, and we should be all set. We'll check the recording software thingy-majigster once more. Yep, appears to be all set. Excellent. Okay. The 20 minutes, like I said, probably, I don't know, we're not even going to do the math, maybe 15 laps. I don't even want to predict too much because when I start doing that, I start playing math in my head and it gets to be a mess. So we're not going to do that, but 20 minutes is 20 minutes, so see how this goes. Get the tires nice and warmed up here on this long pace lap. It is very tricky to go over the S's on tires especially, so we're going to try not to do that as much as we can. Take about a lap or two, be a little bit careful through there, otherwise you will bin it, and then we'll finish last, so we don't want that. Alright, let's see. So Junior starting second, Susan with a great qualifying lap up in third. Jason, we've seen him around top 10. Another good run in sixth. Kevin Iannarelli, we've seen him plenty. Nate Selms all the way back in eighth. Seabell back in ninth. He's second in the points, I believe, coming in. Mike Berg is the top 10. So I believe the Ford car is still here. Should be very, very exciting. We have gotten calls about the Formula 3 offer for the upcoming season, but I will release those details in the next video at Laguna Seca when we wrap up this season here. So looks like we're going to be moving on up. We've had a great season here in the Mazda Cup. This is race 8. I think we're looking for our 6th or 7th win. We've had that one blemish a little bit at Road America. Definitely not my best of races, but we've been fantastic on speed the entire season. Other than Daytona, the first race where we started third, I think it's been all poles. So, but that might not be the case. I might be full of crap there. So, but it's been great. We've ran a lot of laps up front. Had good racing with some people. A minor incident last time out at Summit Point, if I remember correctly, in the very end of the race, running over a car that was trying to let us go through the kink before the hairpin, which was terrifying, but that's okay. So we're going to reset and have the best starting spot here today, and hopefully we can pick up another win and solidify that points championship. So Watkins Glen Classic here, 20 minutes, and then we'll move on to the finale at Laguna Seca next time out. So lots of good things to look forward to here, and this wrapping up this series and moving on to the next. And thank you all so much for stopping by as always, and I hope you enjoyed this race we're about to get going. I don't know what the heck Junior's doing. I don't know why he's back there, whatever. I don't know what anybody's doing. Actually use first gear on that start there, Junior did. We're going to go protect here a little bit. Just a little bit. Junior's actually going to beat us down into turn 1. See if he can swing around the outside. Looks like he can, so that's okay. We'll use this big draft here. Sounds like he actually used second gear there, which I didn't anticipate, but maybe they did. I don't think we're going to be doing that in the race, but we'll see, as the tires warm up especially. So, another big toe. Which side do we go to? Driver's left, it looks like he's going to protect just a little bit. The draft is going to be big up the hill, especially with how much momentum you can lose going uphill there. It's going to definitely be a little bit of a mess. We're going to go protect this just a little bit to the inside into the carousel. Carry a lot of speed. Drop the edge of the cliff. Very careful. Like I said, going uphill with the toe is just going to be brutal. You're just going to be a sitting duck all the way down the long back stretch. So once we get up to speed, you're really going to see the leader of any given pack, whether it's this lead pack or really in trouble. We're going to use third gear there since we're going to be forced out wide. Junior could break away right here, but he's trying to fight for this lead extremely aggressively, which is fine. But could have already broken away from this whole pack if we just line up here. So if he wants to look up the inside again, he can be my guest. Actually back out of that one there relatively early enough. We're going to just turn right here, come back on track. We'll pick up the 1X. Hit the grass with all 4 tires. That's when we really get in trouble. We were okay for that, as we have dropped third and back. They're almost 2 seconds behind. They're already battling side by side up the hill and through turn 1 for third spot. So already about 2 minutes into this race, it's just me and Junior up front, and we're pretty much helpless here. Not a whole lot we can do at this point. So he's going to get a big drive, and we'll just let him go into the carousel. to make sure that we break away from that pack completely. As much gap as we can get through here. And then we'll just kind of, I guess we'll just kind of follow for a little bit and see where our strengths and weaknesses are as far as the toe. Obviously, we know we can just pass him down the backstretch if we want to. I want to feel like, where we need to be as far as 2 laps before that if we decide to make that move on the last lap or what the case may be. So how that's all going to work here. Chucking in the last corner slide quite a bit because it's terrible. And see if we can follow him down the front stretch. He's going to go with a big protect even though we didn't even have any kind of run. So really just costing us time, but that's alright. AI gonna AI. We're actually going to be side by side up the hill here, so Susan already got into this. Really unfortunate, basically that 2-second gap to Susan there really had everybody else on the ropes, and now we've roped them right back into it. It's really unfortunate, but hopefully it'll still spread out. I'm hoping it's not going to be like Daytona. Daytona's terrible because you can't do anything. You don't want to be leading, which is dumb, but we'll see what we got here. Susan's definitely now on the back of this pack with a big head of steam in the carousel, and I think everybody else may be as well. So Junior's going to get by us on that group here inside line, slight break to keep the car tight. We'll get a nice run here. It looks like they're all going ultra defensive, which is pretty weird. So I didn't really have a big run down the front stretch when Junior went defensive, so pretty strange. So we definitely don't want to do it. We did that last lap and go side by side the whole backstretch. That did not help anybody. Off the last corner again, ultra defensive again. We're just gonna try to push him, I guess. Actually lifted his back tires up there. Brake early. If you want to, terrible corner right there, and he just slams the brakes, and now everybody's gonna be in this train here. We're gonna have a train of about 15 or more cars to be in track. So I don't know what the AI do there. They just slam on the brakes for no reason at all, massively. So that's not great. Get a little bit of side draft here, see if someone makes it 3 wide or not. Looks like they may. No, it looks like they're not going to it this time. Really trying to just start getting some confidence in the tires here. Just maybe break the draft slightly. If we can do that, it seems like turn 1 is one of our better corners. So up the hill, that's a good place to be feeling pretty good, is up the hill with the big draft late in the race. So keep that in mind. Nicely down. I used 4th gear through there on my Q lap, which was not ideal, not my best move ever, but it's fine. 25.6. Can definitely run faster than that. Especially if we could break this toe and just kind of run laps by ourselves. 1.4 seconds back to Junior again. Was too defensive in the corner. So we're going to give him a little bit of a toe up here, but he's definitely going to be vulnerable from Jason and Susan up here at the top of the hill. So if they can get battling for even like 1 more lap, we might be able to break away. It's about 2 seconds you get any kind of sniff of a toe, so he's definitely going to get a little bit up through here, but not enough to close us down massively or anything. Looks like they're all pretty tight back there, so that's good, I guess. Keep each other losing time, no matter how many amount of, or we can just kind of open up slightly. We'll be better off here, and if Junior keeps having to go defensive on Susan and Jason and the rest of everybody, that'll actually help us. And yes, I know everybody, that will create a really boring ass race if I just sit out here and break the toe and drive by myself. A little bit like Mid-Ohio. We got the lead immediately at Mid-Ohio. We didn't win the pole there, so we didn't win the pole in that one. We just passed for the lead immediately. But anyways, I know that was kind of a boring race until we caught traffic. I don't anticipate a lot of traffic here, just because of the way the draft works and the lap time length. But Yeah, we just went purple from even Q, so. Yeah, 2 seconds now. We're outside the big toe range from them, so Junior's going to basically be punching his own hole and be under pretty heavy fire. If they can pass him is yet to be seen, but there's at least the opportunity. And again, I'm sorry, it's going to be a boring race if it ends up like this and I just ride by myself, but I'd rather win the championship and be able to move up to the next series than, you know, hit the brakes or make a pit stop or something and go back there. Maybe we'll start at the back of Laguna Seca, just to make it interesting. Excuse me. Hiccups again. I always get the hiccups. I talk too much during these. That's my cue to shut up. So we'll just take a next lap here and let you listen to the car, even though there aren't a lot of downshifts or anything, and enjoy the sound of Watkins Glen in the Mazda Cup. So again, maybe we'll do something different from Laguna if this is how this race ends up. But we've well and truly broken out of the draft train here. So unless something weird happens, it's going to be us for this race. Good and bad, but I'll shut up here and let you guys listen to a lap at Watkins Glen. So that's a lap around this place. Pretty boring, not a lot of drama. We have slowed down a little bit just because of tire wear here as we approach half distance already. Actually, we're just over half distance there, so. Of course, we are running purple laps every time compared to everybody else, at least not my personal best. But of course, if Junior's punching his own hole and defending, being swamped, and there's passing and braking and stuff going on, we're going to make time anyways, forget the draft. So everybody else might be making time, but Junior's definitely going to lose time having to take a defensive line and us just going out and running essentially qualifying laps. So that's what we got here. 5.5 seconds is the gap. A couple of guys have made big moves. I saw Jeff move from 6 to 4 that last time from the exit turn 1 all the way down to the carousel here. So as we've seen previously, the front tires just starting to go a little bit, just enough to kind of question mark, you know. So I've been thinking about Laguna. It's actually going to be pretty hard to pass at Laguna, just with the way these cars are, high momentum. And passing 39 cars trying to win the race is going to be very, very difficult. So maybe we'll just run it straight up. See how anticipate being super fast there. Many laps there in the Pontiac, second only to probably Summit Point. But not enough where I can just jump in the Mazda then and do the same thing. We'll probably just use the same brake zones. They drive, just kind of wing it and see what happens and hope we don't bin it. But they did change the Pontiac, obviously, for this most recent season. Now with the race tires, so we'll see how that impacts how I drive the two differently. So Pontiac a lot more handling characteristic wise similar to this, not speed wise or anything obviously, but a little bit different from the Pontiac. But I haven't driven the Mazda there in quite a while, so we'll see if I can translate that over. About 1.5 seconds almost faster than Junior that last lap, so insane time right now. Let's check. It is at next time through there when I can look. About 6.9 up the hill previous lap. So we'll see what we can do to that same point next lap. He's definitely having to go pretty defensive on these guys, yet still towing them around, so not a great situation to be in for good old Junebug there. Probably get 14, 15 laps, like I said. We'll see how it shakes out at the very end of our lap time and stuff, but we'll see how it turns out. Still sub 25 here, nice laps. Front tires just starting to go off a little bit. Tough to get in turn one aggressively now. Use a little bit of the edge there. So yeah, here again went from basically, let's say 7 seconds to 8.6. So we were actually like 1.6, 1.7 faster than Junior that lap, I guess, coming around and fluctuating a little bit. So they're all the way at like 26.70 or 75 even. So definitely a big delta to where they were in Q and to where I am even right now. So running around our Q laps, I believe we qualified, what, 25 dead. So it's about what we got now. Obviously, the tires warm up, but then they pressure for 2-3 laps, and then they start to fall off as we're seeing now. So Junior almost got past there. Jeff got to him. So keep an eye on that battle. I wish I could like fast forward this and show you that. But this is my POV perspective here, and I can't exactly fast forward simulate like you would on, Car Thunder or something. Where, oh, yep, we got the best car, we're gonna win. Simulate, I don't have to race these anymore. I can just focus on spending the money. A little bit slower that lap, but still good. We are not going to catch Holden out, I believe, 40 seconds up the road in 4 to 5 laps. I don't believe we're that much faster. You'd have to be at like a 23, so I don't really see that happening, but who knows. I don't try to predict and stuff like that. So like I said, we're going to move on to Laguna Seca coming up next. I'll kind of recap this season a little bit, and hopefully we have a good run there. It looks like we're going to go in there with a healthy points margin of 30 plus, so we really only need to finish like 30th next week. But yeah, so then we are been invited to a Formula 3 season, but I will not give all the details there yet. Final Mazda Cup race, keep our focus on that race. At least we can celebrate a championship, hopefully, and move forwards. So yeah, it's going to be good. Formula 3, not a car I'm super familiar with. I've raced it a handful of times. I actually accidentally basically won one at Lime Rock. That's probably the second or third fastest car, and one guy crashed, and one guy behind me that could have been faster ran out of fuel or something weird happened. And I deserved to win. It wasn't like I was 15th or anything, but we weren't going to win unless weird stuff happened, and we managed to stay in control and have things go okay and grab the victory. So that was really nice. I'm sure Derek Strayster there, Mr. Glass, remembers that when he was in stream that day. Streamed that race. It's somewhere on my channel. If it saves streams, I don't even remember, but I'm sure he remembers that day. He was my good left arm, and we ended up winning the race. So love Stray. I miss him. Hope he's doing well. So yeah, that's coming up next. A little bit of a shorter season than this. They travel around the world a little bit and do different things. But I believe those are going to be longer races. I don't remember what I set everything up as. That was a long time ago. I set up the career ladder based on whether we win the championship or not. But look into that, and I don't even know if I have any sets for that, so we might just make a default high time setup. We'll see. I guess I'll be getting to recording those, and probably I'm recording that probably like 3, 4, 5 days from now. So I'll get around to recording some of those versus this. So hopefully we can stay on top of that. Busy at work, busy, new job, stuff like that. So it's been an interesting couple weeks, but obviously the iRacing season is now concluded. The C&B Open, it was a great ending of C&B Open for me personally. Didn't win my last 2 C Opens. Finished fourth, and then fourth, I should have won the fourth one, or the one I finished fourth in, and got bit by a caution at a bad time. And then ran third against really a couple of really fast trucks. I probably could have run second if the temperature was a little bit different, but I was built for 83, 84, and we got 74. So finished third in that one, had a great race throughout, long green run at the end of that one. So I was happy with that, and I guess we'll move on to the springtime and look for Daytona now coming up. So that's what's up. We're going to get back there in 45 seconds. It'll be tight. Might be the last lap coming up. We'll see how it shakes out exactly here. Think about that first lap or two when we were stuck behind Junior for a little bit there, and that's going to be the difference in whether we get 14 laps or 15 laps. Christopher Bell has driven all the way from 8th or wherever he started up to 3rd place, so great drive by him there. It looks like there's been some kind of shake-up there with Brent as well. See, Bell has made massive amounts of places. Yep, we are going to get the white flag here. We're going to miss it by, like, literally 1 second is how much we're going to miss having another lap. There goes 25. So yeah, just about 2 seconds we miss having an extra lap here, which is fine. This race is going to be almost exactly 20 minutes long. Like 20 minutes. That's fine. Final time through turn 1 as we miss everything again. Up to a 15-second gap. We actually are kind of rooting for Christopher Bell to lose another spot or two. Makes our job a little bit easier next week, obviously, where points are well in hand. But the more that he loses, the more we can kind of take risks and, you know, throw a little bit of caution to the wind, not needing to run 3rd or 4th or 5th or anything if we can run 30th next week. So that's what we're looking here. Nice early shift. So pretty chill, obviously, once we break that draft. It kind of turned into a mid-Ohio type race where nothing happened, which those happen. And I know people hate the Martin Truex Jr. Coke 600 race and some of the races Kyle Larson this year. Congrats to him, by the way. Definitely not who my pick was, those of you that know me, but a deserved champion, obviously, with 10 victories. So hopefully Hendrick just sucks ass next year. Anyways, I digress again. I don't know why I went to 5th gear there. I'm just talking and being bored. So 16 seconds is going to be our margin, give or take. Final corner, never really had a problem with traffic. And that's another victory. So a job well done. I believe that's win number 7 on the season. And with 1 race to go, we put 1 hand on the championship trophy. Around here for our cool down lap. Make sure these results go official. And we'll make sure we can drive on through. Like Junior is going to hold on for 2nd. Seabell is going to wind up 3rd. The margins there very, very tight for the rest of the pack. First car that really lost the draft was 9th place Susan Huff. She fell all the way back there versus 8th place, which was Greg West. So 2nd through 8th really is kind of, I guess Nate probably lost the toe of Brent just a little bit. So definitely some bigger clusters and groups as you go there. But a nice 16, almost 17-second margin of victory for us at the draft track, which I didn't really see coming based on how Daytona played out. Daytona was definitely much closer, but that track, obviously, all the brake zones are right in a row, so if you can hang with someone through the infield, you can just tow them around for the entire rest of the lap. So all is well. It's been a good race, good day. And look forward to the finale at Laguna Seca. So we've had some interesting luck in season finales from the first 2. Obviously, everybody remembers how the Formula V season finale went. And then the Spec Racer Ford finale was not my best drive ever, but it's okay. We'll drive all the way down to our box at the far end of pit road. Go by all these nice teams here, waving, clapping with their multicolored tents. Very nice of them. Just clouds start to roll in here over Watkins Glen. Find our dude, as Empty Box would say. Stop on the markers, exit the car, and that should be it. So we'll pull up the sponsors tab there, make sure we get all of them there. Thanks as always for all the support they give me, all the things they do for these streams in my racing career, and I guess my life, if we're going to say it that way. So That's what we want. Yep, another victory. Perfect weekend. We did win the pole handily. So yeah, it's one event to go. We'll look at the official points standings margin there. Yep, 6 wins, 7 poles, and 8 races. 31 points to Christopher Bell. Jeff Rubin, 38 points back. Dale Jr.'s fourth, 44 points back. Obviously, we have 43 points, but 40 cars, I think. So last place is like 3 points. Anyways, tired. Anyways, so yeah, Christopher Bell and Jeff are the only ones in points contention here. You can only make up whatever I said, 40 points or something in a race total. So as long as we don't finish last and Jeff doesn't win, we'll be top 2 in points, and we only really got to finish 30th or so for 31st maybe for Christopher Bell to not win the championship, because we would get a tiebreaker on that. So top 31 should be manageable. We've run 8 races, we've won 7, and finished second last lap shenanigans and mistakes by me at Road America, of course, home track problems. So that's what we're looking at next time out at Laguna Seca. So thank you all so very much for stopping by. Like I said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw here today and don't want to miss any of the action coming up in the future. And until next time, bye.